And today I want to speak to you about the root of your limiting beliefs. That is the root. We're going to kind of pull up the root of your limiting beliefs that's stopping you getting started in Africa. Even if you have got started, it's stomping your business growth. Okay, there's no better time like right now to be doing that business, to keep putting your head down, getting yourself focused, getting things in place, getting organized, getting the help, the support, the systems and structures in place right now. There's no better time. No better time. This is actually a very good time for my business. It's not like I'm saying I'm going to capitalize on what's happening in the world today, but there's no better. So, okay. So in this video, I'm going to cover the fake news, the kind of things that people are saying in the industry. That's what they're telling you to do. Okay. And why I disagree with them. What makes me so qualified to kind of disagree with these things, and why I think it's wrong, what they're saying, and what 2 things that you really should be doing instead. Okay, I'm going to be identifying 3 different things that you should consider before you set up your fashion business in Africa. And I'm going to share what kind of results you can experience once you do these things and you do these things right. And lastly, we're going to look at where you could be a year from now. We're going to look into the future. We're going to look at what you could achieve once you start putting some things in place. So let us go ahead and do this. I'm going to bring up my notes because I always want to make sure that I'm focused for you guys. I don't want to just be talking for the sake of it. I like to come correct. I like to come organized so that I can give you my best. Okay, I'm all about giving you my best. Okay, all right. So yes, today's topic, like I said, it's all about the limiting beliefs. Maybe put the volume up here. It's all about the limiting beliefs. It's all about the things that may be stopping you. So just in case you don't know who I am, and I'll just introduce myself. My name is Jacqueline Shaw. I'll go by Brown as well, but mainly Jacqueline Shaw, and I help creative entrepreneurs, people like yourself, to start and build and scale a fashion business that is made in Africa. To help you to do that ethically, sustainably, okay? And make sure you do it in a way that's going to be profitable and it's going to help you to grow. So share this. If you can, you're on my page, share it. Share it with your community. Let other people know they can come and join as well, because I think it'd be really key for them. So I've got a lot to cover. Like I said, it'll be about 15 minutes. But thank you for taking the time out. You could be doing anything else, watching TV, watching Netflix, but you're here with me. I know you're super busy, and so hopefully you got something to keep you going for the next 15-20 minutes. So let's talk about the root of your limited beliefs. We all have some limited beliefs all around us. We have reasons and things that are stopping us from growing. There's some falsehoods going around in the industry that is stomping your growth. I don't want us to cut that off. These are not just the myths. These are things that have been spoken to you. Okay? I hear how you're struggling. I hear the things that you're saying. It's like, where is all this coming from? It's coming from the industry. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, okay? And let me give you a few solutions of what you can do going forward instead. So what, okay. So I know, and if you don't know by now, production and sourcing and manufacturing in Africa is a bit of an anomaly, right? It is a bit of an anomaly. I said it. It is a bit of an anomaly. Why? And it's because the industry tells you that. As you guys may or may not know, I've worked in fashion for about 20 years. Okay, I don't design for brands anymore, but I was living in China, I was living in Turkey, I was living in Germany, and I was working designing for these brands and retailers. Do mostly sportswear and swimwear, but I've also had my own business doing bridal wear and high-end design for individual clients. So that's what I've done a lot of myself as well. And then I had my own streetwear label. So I've seen different levels of the industry and the things, the comments that come back. And I recall, this was a little while ago, but I remember this conversation I had with a gentleman who, on LinkedIn, so I talk a lot on LinkedIn, and he was saying that LinkedIn is good because there's a lot of posts on there, a lot of factual posts and informative posts you can get on LinkedIn. You can put that on LinkedIn, you can build your community there as well. And I was talking about a lot about sustainability and Africa's textile industry, and these drum up a lot of conversation. And one response I got was from a guy based in China, and he was a manufacturer, and he was saying to me how I put something about Africa's fashion industry, and he said, when did Africa become a manufacturer for clothing? And I was a bit like, really? I was a bit shocked. I was a bit confused by him saying that. Confused because I know what I've seen. Confused because I knew the industry that I work in. And he said he's worked in fashion for 20 years. When he went to South Africa, there was nothing there. Okay, so what does this tell me? It tells me that there is an ignorance in the industry, even with those who have been experts for many years. This guy has been working in the fashion industry, the manufacturing industry in China, the hub, the go-to place, the #1 place for making clothing and making everything else in the world. He lived in there. He lived there. He's had all this experience. He says that, when did Africa become a manufacturer for clothing? So I'm just surprised. And when he went to South Africa, so what is this? So what does this ignorance tell you, and why you should listen? Number one, Africa's not a country. So he was talking about South Africa in regards to Africa. This is affecting the opinion of Africa being that country where it's not, where it is a production hub, a continent of 54 country states with differing governments, different skills and cultures and languages, etc., etc. So you can see his level of ignorance is just at that level. Number two is all about perception, and where people see the dark continent, it can't do anything, it relies on everybody else, it's not producing. Some are yet to see the lion continent of Africa that is risen, is rising, the new risen narrative. Some people are lacking to see that. That's where their ignorance is. And I hope that you're not going to be one of them, or you're not one of them right now. If you are, let's break that. Number three was the ignorance that there is no textile industry there. I mean, come on. They've been doing textiles in Africa since they BC. Okay? They BC, for the time God said, let there be. There was be textiles made in Africa, okay? So I've yet to travel the whole of the continent. I mean, I think I only know one person probably done that. That's that lady who, what's she called? She's on Instagram and she has come something with me. I can't remember what she's called. But anyway, she's traveled around so many countries around the world. I have yet to do that. But I have visited a lot of countries so far. Thank you for the heart. Thank you for the love, guys. I've visited a lot of countries. I've gone there multiple times. I think could be like around 15 now. So I've gone to multiple countries and multiple times, repeatedly. I've got links there and much, much. Keep well. So I have links to manufacturers, artisans, producers, craftspeople, designers, retailers. I've visited factories, with the mills. I know more that are even arising in some peak areas, peak countries. You know, things like Rwanda, you guys hear about, who are pushing their whole manufacturing industry. That's what I'm all about. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. So the real problems. So ignore what the guy said. That's his ignorance. Let me give you some real information. Okay? Let me give you some more information. The real problems. Aid is a major issue. Aid is a huge issue. If you follow me, you know that I'm always talking about trade with Africa. That's the way to see change. Trade is the way to see change. It's the vehicle of fashion through trade that will bring change in Africa. Okay? So aid is a major issue. Governance, we all know governance is a major issue. It's not even just African countries. There's other countries around the world where governance is a huge issue. And then export and trade policies. But we're seeing some changes. I'll get into that later. But they tend to be an issue at the ports. Things getting in and out of the continent can be a major issue. And then things like processing. So if you understand the way that the industry works, in general, if you have a full supply chain, if you have value addition in the place of location, then that's, if you have full processing in the place of location, then it's going to add value to the goods that are being produced there, okay? It's going to add value. Now, Africa has a lack of that. A lot of things are exported in its raw form, which means that there's a lot being missed out. At present, the problem is machinery, technology, that keeps the textile industry behind Asia. So the prevention of value addition and high export of raw materials, this needs to change, okay? This is what needs to change. So that's the truth about the situation. So the approach that gentleman had, and the approach that many people are seeing, and what they're saying to you, why you can't produce in Africa, and Africa can't do this, and Africa can't do that. It's a wrong approach, it's a wrong mindset. This is making you think, oh, I can't do that. Let me just go and get the textiles in China. Let me go get the textiles in Dubai. Let me just produce locally to home because that's safe. I know UK. I know Europe where I am. I know the US. I can just get things made and it's quick and it's easy. And that's what you're thinking. If you're with me right now, do put a comment in the comment box. I know you're here. I'm Jacqueline Shaw, your African fashion business coach. And we're talking about some of the limiting beliefs that are stopping you, the fake news that you've been getting, that's stopping you from starting, building, and growing a fashion business in Africa. And I want to hear to kind of diffuse that and give you some truths to counteract that. It won't be that long with you for tonight, but I want to make sure that you get this information, okay? So that approach that gentleman that took is a wrong approach. So it was a wrong approach because the reality and opportunity tells us that there's more than we realize. Studies show in East Africa that for every job created in the garment sector, another 5 are created. So it's actually creating more jobs than you are producing in Africa. And having a complete supply chain, which is from cotton to finished garments in one place, keeps value addition in the local economy. That's what we're all about, and that's what I want to encourage you guys to do, produce in Africa. If you heard in my lives recently, I was saying in regards that when there's crises happening, around the world, what happens is that everybody wants to kind of pull out of other areas and they forget about sustainability, forget about the world, and they just think about their own selves. And so FDI will come out, foreign direct investment will come out of African economies, and then there'll be no kind of support that is needed from other governments, and then Africa will struggle because of that. So I want to say to you guys, do business in Africa. Do business in Africa, keep trade going, just like you want to support small businesses around you, support African businesses, support African producers and the makers, and keep trade going in Africa. So don't pull out the African continent right now, okay? So having a complete supply chain in Africa is adding value. Adding value. I know some of you guys are doing your hair with me right now, and you're already doing all that stuff. Well done. So certified made in Africa by Africans, that's what we want to support. And invest in rebuilding the industry, okay? There's a huge potential for garment manufacturing and for the retail industry. I'm seeing it all the time. I'll do a live on that, training on that soon. Bless you, Romani, I see you. There's a full potential for retail, for manufacturing of garments, for job creation, for building economies. So it's good to help trade in Africa. So that's why we want to cancel out what this guy was saying, cancel out what the so-called gurus say. Listen to those who have been there and have done it, not those who have the concept of it or want to have African inspired, but those who are actually doing made in Africa, okay? So it's good to help trade in Africa by sourcing from fair trade and sourcing from artisans. This trade helps these communities to become independent suppliers. That's what happens. When you've got a relatively young continent like Africa is, where around 50% so is under 25 years old, and there's a young workforce, and many diasporans are returning to the continent, you can put back into that economy. Africa's on the road to have a market of 2.4 billion by the year 2050. That's not too far from now. The opportunity is great for local and international retail and manufacturing. Ghana itself, I'm giving you guys loads of information right now. Ghana itself is one of the 20 markets of the future by Euromonitor, with manufacturing and clothing amongst agriculture, construction, tobacco, and fuels as well. So Ghana is one of the 20 markets of the future. That's a great opportunity. These are the things that you need to know. These are the information you know, more than how best to do your Instagram, more than what should I post today. What is the economy saying? What is it saying? What's going on around? What's going to affect your business? What's going to be, why is it a good place to do business? Why is African print or African, inspired print the thing for you right now? Understand the whole industry. That's what I'm here to help you guys do. Give you a solid foundation. You've got places like Nigeria and Kenya and South Africa, which are key for design and retailers. And they're setting up there in particular. That's what's happening right now. Ethiopia is a hotspot, okay, for manufacturing. Craft is the second biggest provider for developing countries, okay, when it comes to jobs. The world challenges in trade and export is telling us that the world of manufacturing will need to look for new locations outside of Africa to source from. That's what's happening. And I see the opportunity for Africa to take place. With these figures I've mentioned to you guys, you can see there's a strong business case towards it. Because I've been to many countries and many countries are doing good things. Many are strong in one thing but not strong in another thing. You may have some that are great at leather, they've got a great leather industry, and so you're creating jobs and so forth. But then they're not very good with their organic cotton growing or general cotton growing. And some are good with cotton growing, but then they don't have the facilities to process it. So that means they're exporting that cotton. So what makes it sustainable? What is a sustainable modern collection for you? What is the most important things for you within that? Because then that will help you to decide which country, because maybe you just want to source cotton from there, or you want to be doing a job creation or using local techniques, textile techniques. And that's what making it sustainable, because you're creating a business that is providing work and jobs to those artisans and to those makers. So that's what's really going to define it. I can't say it's one country, and there's too many factors. So regarding all those challenges of things, why I believe that that man was wrong, the Chinese one, the guy who lived in China from the manufacturing industry, and what he was saying, why I disagreed with him. I explained that just now because of all these points I've just raised to you. So what should you do instead? These are people that you need to take note. What should you do instead? First of all, don't listen to people like him. For those especially who are new to business, there's two things that I've learned with setting up an African fashion business, and I want you guys to take this on board. Do not take it lightly. This is the way things are, and it's really going to help you. Do not take this lightly. Number one is your network on the continent. It's imperative to your growth. It's imperative. This is how I've built this business over the last 10 years, and working in fashion 20 years, but Africa specifically for 10 years. Building a network on the continent is imperative to your growth. You want to split your risk, okay? Just like any fashion business, they do production in very different countries. You want to split that, but you need to have good, solid relationships. Now, you guys know that I don't just give supply contacts, and that isn't because I'm being hard or I'm scared of going to whatever. It's nothing to do with that. I've got a blog on my website, on my AfricaFashionGuide.com website. You guys can go and have a read about the key reasons why I do not just give out a list. And one of them is that you need to have the understanding of how it works as an industry. Okay, so if I just give you a list, you're not just going to know. You may not be able to utilize that list to the best effect. I want to make sure that I do give people lists. I do give people information. But first, what I do is make sure that you've got the foundational training that you need so you can have success. Because your success is my success. Just giving you a small, short win right now is not giving you success. You understand me? It's not giving you success. It's giving you a short win right now. But I want you to have long-term growth, long-term success. And that's what I'm here for you as an African fashion business coach, to see you win. Your success is my success. And yeah, it works for everybody then. So win-win-win for me, you, and the suppliers. So anyway, connecting and building a relationship with those in your supply chain, with media, with business communities is necessary for your growth. You cannot do this alone. Do not think, oh, I'm just going to go and get this contact from that person and I'm going to do some production. Or I'm just going to go over to Nigeria because that's where my people are from. I'm just going to speak to my uncle who knows somebody, and then that's it. You need to set up business in the right way, okay? Build those relationships with them, know how to vet them, know what to look for. And that comes through building your network on the continent, and that will help you to grow. And you'll learn about more people. You learn who are the right people to speak to, who are not the right people to speak to. You get the right kind of contacts as well. Okay, that's number one. Hey, my darling. Hey, Joanne. The number two is that you need a support systems and structure. This is what I had beginning. So I've had quite a few coaches right now in ethical fashion, which is where I kind of started this. The start of my career in African fashion industry. I know it sounds weird, but in sustainable fashion is where I had business coaches, mentors really, who supported me. This is what's helped me to get where I am today. Because of them, I, sat on the shoulders of giants, and literally giants in the industry, and I'm so grateful. I've got people even within like CNA Foundation who have been supported me from day dot, who have invested into my events. You don't just get financial support from companies like that for the sake of it, when it's not even in their remit of their business and where they're trying to go. But they'll invest because they believed in me. Who will pull me into their network, who will bring me into programs and things because they believe in me. So it's those support, those giants, the women in the foundation, I salute them all the time because they are amazing team. At Puma, when they funded my master's degree, that's what started my business, is my ethical fashion master's. In Puma, who I worked for, paid for my master's. Can you believe that? They were the giants whose shoulders I sat on and was able to, they were the giants that were able to, build this business. And then through getting particular coaches and mentors, people have gone there before in digital business, for me specifically, but I knew fashion already. So it was digital business, online business. I needed to learn systems from them, and they're the ones who showed me those systems, and they gave me the structure. I said, I need a structure, I need a system, I don't know what I'm doing. They gave me that, and now I completely understand that. But yes, so I got their support. I was gaining support from those who've been there before. This can really be your strength. I can't stress it more. I'm here, and I said, I really want to help you guys go to the next stage. Really want to help you, not with a short win, but long-term growth. Those who don't like that, that's fine. I get it. You want a quick win today. You're not going to get a quick win from me. You're going to get a long-term win. We're going to be looking for sustainable business because remember, we're building Africa and we're looking at long term. We're not going to go in with a white savior mentality to go in and make a change in Africa today and then off you go when your money runs out. No, we're looking to build long-term foundational businesses that's building and working with Africa. So being led by an expert can support you to create structures, putting systems into your business that you can grow and scale. That is the two big things that you need as a new business. And what I've learned starting in my African fashion business. Now, there's 3 areas that I've identified. I'm going to do it every time, but don't worry, stick with me. 3 areas that I've identified that you should consider also before you start. The first one is about creating a responsible textile supply chain. So again, that goes back to what Kiki was saying about having a sustainable modern collection in Africa. Which country? Your first thing you're thinking, having a responsible textile supply chain, where do you have that supply chain? One that considers people, planet, as well as profit, and prevents stories like the Bangladeshi 2013 Rasa Plaza factory collapse, preventing that happening in Africa. Actually, in April every year, there is a Fashion Revolution Day, which actually remembers those who lost their lives in that tragic factory collapse, and we don't want that replicated in Africa or anywhere else in the world. It should not be happening. Okay, so creating a responsible textile supply chain is key. The first thing you be thinking about. Therefore, an ethical, sustainable sourcing strategy is needed. Those who work with me in as one-to-one, there's 4 key areas that I focus on with you guys. I will do a training, an overview on that. I can't go deep into it. I'll give an overview on the four key areas I call my W4 formula. And having one of the areas is a sourcing strategy, okay? Ethical and sustainable sourcing strategy. We delve deep into where you're sourcing, where the materials are coming from, where your suppliers are, and building a strategy around that. So that's the first thing you need to consider. The second thing you need to consider is identifying buying local textile, sourcing locally in Africa, trading locally as well. Maybe when they have a shop locally on the ground as well, maybe. As well as developing intra-continental trade is key. So now there is the African Continental Free Trade Area Stroke Agreement. It means that you can now be trading with other countries in Africa. It means that there's going to be either duty-free or very reduced duty, which is to make things easy. You can get your cotton from one country that is growing cotton, and you can maybe, if you're a cotton trader, it'll be easier for you because they do things on large scale. And then you can go and send it to a ginnery somewhere if there's not one locally, or you can export it to the mills after that, and you get that knitted and woven, spun and knitted and woven as well in other countries that have the mills and facilities to do that and make it into clothing. So that's going to make it easier for you. So identify buying locally and sourcing locally is key for Africa. So therefore, buying from Africa, it keeps money in Africa. And that's what we're all about. The third thing that you need to consider that I identified when you're starting is the third thing you need to identify is changing your external perceptions of the industry. Change external perceptions of the industry. That's what you need to change. That's what I've been doing, from the time I bought my catwalk t-shirts to the catwalk of London Fashion Week, Ghana Fashion Week, and Los Angeles, Africa Fashion Week, Los Angeles, where I bought the t-shirts, which African Cotton t-shirt campaign, which are organic African cotton t-shirts, and I brought them to the catwalk to raise a point about the African cotton farmers, that they weren't receiving the same subsidies. It's unfair. I didn't like it. It wasn't fair trading. And even now, they're still having the same challenges, which really, really upsets me. But I wanted to raise awareness for those who've never even considered the African cotton farmers. Yeah? So change external perception of the industry you're in. Make it bigger than you creating a wax print brand or clothing. It's bigger than that. It should be. We need to do better. We need to do better. For those of us who are living in the diaspora, those of us living outside of the continent, for those who are living outside, we need to do better. We're more than wax print. We're more than creating an image of Africa. Let's touch ground on the continent. Let's source from the continent. This very time right now that we are in, we can be doing that. Whatever time that you're in, you could be doing that and building African economies. That's what we should be focusing on, because it brings money to Africa. It increases their GDP. It increases their economy. It helps them to trade with other nations because the economy is growing. They can now do the things themselves without having to have China come in and produce railways and schools and all this stuff, because they're having business come to them. They don't need to be dependent on aid, because we've got businesses who are producing in Africa. And I want you to be one of them. Don't think you're too small. what's that saying that what's it? There's a quote like, never think that the size that you are is ineffective, something like that. It's those who think that I've never been in a room at night with a mosquito or something like that. You guys know the saying. You've probably seen the memes of like around that. But no matter what size you are, you can be effective in your business. Look at Gandhi. Look at Martin Luther King, even Malcolm X as well. As individual people, Mother Teresa, all of these people, they were effective with just being one person. It takes one, and you do. Look at what I've been doing. It's just me who just had a concept. I want to just do something that shares African stories, and now he's brought me in front of presidents of nations. He's brought me in front of governments of nations of first world, number one powerful nations in the world, and African nations as well, in front of presidents of African nations, sitting with them, taking pictures with them. Me just having that one vision, that's what that can do. So do not belittle your small beginnings, and do not belittle just the things that you've got in your head. Bring them out. If you need support, I'm here as African Fashion Business Coach. I'm here to help you to win and to make this effective, okay? So do business better. Command your space and how you're going to present your business, and surprise the naysayers. There's always going to be people who have opinions, okay? Someone here will know what I'm talking about. There's always going to be people who have opinions of how you should do things, how you should show up, how you should look, how you should speak, how you should design, how you should A, B, C, D, F. People are always going to have something to say. Always, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. Always somebody is going to have something to say to you, or an opinion that they want to give. But be like a horse in a race. If you guys go to any of these horse racing, they're probably not going to have at the moment, but any of the horse racing, you see the horses have those things on, the blinkers, protect the eyes, because if they start seeing the other horses on the other side of them, they're going to start getting like distracted and confused, and they're going to not want to, they're not going to go where they need to be going. That's what they need, a jockey to pull their reins and direct them. Have somebody to hold your reins. Have somebody to direct you. I am the African Fashion Business Coach. I can be your best resource if you want me to be. I can be your coach if you so want me to be. If you're ready to make this happen, if you're tired of the way things are going, let me do this. So if you believe Africa is fashion future and you're planning to set up a sourcing strategy on the continent, then make sure that you stay well informed. Okay, reach out to me. Reach out to me. You can have all that freedom that you want, because there's some of you just want to leave your job, you want to actually have a business that is time free, always, yes. A business that gives you time, allows you to be with your family more than going into an office. You want to have stress relief. If I know how stressful it can be, going into a 9 to 5 sometimes, where you just got a vision of things you want to do. You know you're in your desk and you're being naughty on your Instagram. I've been there. I'm not going to lie. I've been there, and I'm asking God for forgiveness. I've been there, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who's been at work, who's been on their phone, because you love more than the business that you're doing. I know we have to be good stewards of our employees as well, of our work. But I know that feeling of feeling trapped. I always say that I'm a bit of a butterfly. I can't be in a box. I'm a butterfly. I need to be stretched for. And who else is like that? Who else is like that? Who else is a butterfly that cannot be limited? I'm sure I'm not alone. So I'll put in the comment box that if you're a butterfly as well. Yeah, Africa does indigo. Oh, girl, yeah, Africa does indigo dye in quite a few countries. It's a major thing, indigo dye. Not Japan. Even Japan uses some African cotton to make some of its jeans. It's FYI, Zimbabwean cotton. They use a lot of that. It's exported to Japan, and they use it. They do that own salvage and so. That was a little bit inside information for you there. Okay. Okay. So as your African fashion business coach, I will work with you. This is what you can experience. If you want to say, all right, you know what, Jacqueline, I'm all with you, girl. I'm with you. I'm feeling you. I'm getting what you're saying. Okay. As your African fashion business coach, I will work with you on your business goals, on your plans for Africa's fashion industry, textile industry, and I'll work with you, okay, with introductions to meat factories, artisans, suppliers in Africa, and ultimately get your sampling and production set up. I don't want you to be spending any more time searching online, okay, and or getting just lists, because there's so many people giving out free lists right now, and yes, you can do that. You absolutely can do that. But I want to give you the tools to equip you for the future, for long-term growth, okay? I've already done the groundwork for you. I want to save you time. I want to get you connected. I want you to stop working with the one-man tailor or be in the one-man tailor by the roadside. I was speaking to somebody today, when I was just explaining to her the cost of being that one tailor. She was shocked. She was shocked. She still doesn't fully see it. She still thinks it's okay for her to be sewing small pieces and it's going to cost her so much per hour to begin. When you do the costings, I'll give you these costings. When you do the costings, you realize that it's really not worth your time or really not worth their time. But I will help you to start a fashion business where it is built for scale and built to sell. Okay, even before your own launch. So I want to help you to start a business that is built for scale and built for sale. Okay, I don't want you to build it for them to come. Don't build it and hope they will come. Build it so that they will come already. Okay. What else I was going to say to you guys? So kind of results you can get. So we can. These are kind of results that my clients have got in the past. We can turn your idea into a real business. So every day I help creative entrepreneurs like you transform your design ideas, all those ideas in your head, into a real business that is set up to generate consistent sales from quality samples and scaling growth month after month. I've helped clients go from being worried and unsure to actually getting more confident, and going from no experience or no network to actually exporting 4,000 pieces in 6 months. I can help you from giving up on a dream to starting a new business, bringing to life your old ideas. And those people I've had, many of you come to me. Someone I spoke to today, she couldn't show up tonight, but I spoke to her today. She was saying she's had this idea since 2014. She registered her business in 2017, and she still hasn't got it going. She's like, I'm tired. I want to do this. I think, well, let's go. Let's go. Exactly. You know, one of my clients, she already started working in Africa. She went from dealing with snakes and crooks to having a new supply chain in Africa. Can you imagine that? Which you never had before. You can go from a vision to starting up. And one of my clients, she actually decided she's going to go for Spark, for online trading. She did that. She joined my membership club then, which you get as part of having Spark, the online course. And then she decided, screw it, I'm coming to Ghana with you guys. And that was last year. She did that. She had a new baby as well. Not new, but it was about less than a year. She came to Ghana for a week. She was determined. Are you as determined as she is? Are you saying, I want to do this? Because I will absolutely help you to start, even without existing contacts. Don't worry about that. Even if you don't have a fashion degree, don't worry about that. Even if you don't have experience in industry, or you've never yet visited the continent, don't worry. I've done all the dirty work, the hard work, all of that graft before you. You do not need to worry about that. Without no struggle, there can't be no progress. Exactly. No small thinking mindset. Exactly. As Papa Nelson Mandela says, there's no glory in that. In playing small, there's no glory, no passion to be found in playing small. Living a life that is less than what you're capable of living. What's your capability? What's your capability? What's your potential? Don't live less than that. Don't live less than that. But gain the right skills to design, production, business know-how that you need right now to source and manufacture your business in Africa, and get a rinse and repeat. Also, I see you, Joanne. Get a rinse and repeat blueprint strategy that you can implement once and then use it over and over again. You don't need to keep going round and round the same system. I remember when Hussein Shalayan was working with us at Puma, one thing that he was saying was that he didn't really follow trends. He just had like a system that he just used, and he was a designer creative. So he didn't have new collections every month, every season. He just created something that was based sometimes on just old collections and just renewed them. You don't have to keep going round and round again. Just have a system in place. I will give you our Africa Roadmap blueprint system, a strategy that all my clients use, and I, wrapped up now in an online course, in our membership club, in one-to-one coaching that you can get access to today. Gain a bonus of being assigned your supplier partner, so you don't have to worry about that. You can get your collection made. All of these things you can get, okay, that I can support you in getting. You can get your samples and get your production ready, so you can get ready for sale. All of this so you can go from sourcing to sampling to selling. If someone can put that in the comments, I would appreciate that. Sourcing to sampling to selling, the 3 S's, that's where I want to take you from. I want to give you systems, structures, and support, and take you from sourcing, sampling to selling. Someone can put that in there. From systems, structures, and support, that's what I'll give you. I will take you from sourcing to sampling to selling. Okay, if anyone can put that in there, those two groups of S's, then that would help. I'd appreciate that. So where could you be a year from now? Where could you be a year from now? So I want you guys to read that and see what I'm talking about. Go from sourcing to something to selling. I want you to see that so you can see the process. Thank you, Joanne. I want you to see the process and the steps you can take. So a year from now, imagine this. You've got reliable suppliers because you've built this relationship with them. You've already been getting some stuff made from them, some samples, you've been sourcing from them. We're not going to think about quick win again. We're going to take our time and build this business. Build this business so we're going to build it for long term. Okay? So thank you, my darling. And I'll give you the structures, support, and the systems. And systems. Structures, support, and systems. That's the support. You nearly there, Joanne. Thank you, my darling. Structures, support, and systems. So imagine this time next year, you've got reliable suppliers that you've been working with, they're doing samples for you. You've got now recurring customers. Could be based on your business model, could be based on the fact that you produce an amazing, desirable product. That's all part of the 4 steps that I'll take you through when we work one-to-one. The first thing is all about your having a customer-friendly offer. Okay, so that's going to give you recurring customers. Okay, and I'll show you about how to do that, how to work out and create a product that is selling already. Okay, you're going to need some automation of your marketing. Imagine that. That's what's going to happen. You'll be at that point where your email marketing is automated. I can show you exactly how to do that and what tools you can use. But you've got things in place. Your newsletters are automated. Your systems are automated. There's a proven system you can follow, and I'll be giving you that system. With the community of support that you will have this time next year, imagine that. You've got a community of others around you. You've got key, relevant, experienced team members, because when you join my community, I'll give you access to my Facebook Ads Manager, my UX, user experience, e-commerce expert. You get access to where you're building your online store. You'll get access to my designer pool of people who can do women's wear, kids wear, men's wear, footwear, do bag production and bag designs as well for you. And do all your tech packs, your factory ready. So you can go in as a business. You'll go in, oh, here's an old sketch, and the things come out, the things up here, just because you drew it wrong. And they made it like that because that's the way that you drew it. No, you can get all the right tools. You can put things in place. That should be a business. You get respected from suppliers like that. When they see that you're coming with them correct, with the right language, with the right tools, with the right paperwork and equipment, they will trust you more. And it's all about trust in this industry. It's all about relationships. I want to help you with that. That's what we want. This is what you can have this time next year. The best way is you can create this in your own Fashion Made in Africa business without all that experience or degrees or context. Like I said, you don't even have to visit in Africa yet. And if you do want to go, you can go with us. Business angels, of course, yeah. They're financial support, even better. So you can actually have your Fashion Made in Africa business. You can have it all set up in 3 months. I'll show you how to do that. We'll go through this in my, I have the group program FAB, or you can work with me one-to-one in SAM, okay? Source Africa Mastery, or FAB is Fashion Africa Business. Or you can do it in your own time and just grab onto Spark, the online training. Spark is an online training. You can even tap into that, okay? So there's ways you can do this. But that's really my big tip for you today, and what you can be doing too. So what we cover today is what the people are telling you in the industry, the kind of fake news are telling you, the things that they're saying is making you stop your growth. It's going to stop your growth. I've told you about some of the things that is stopping your growth. It's some of the things that they're telling you is fake news. The other opposite can happen. I've told you about the 2 things that you should be doing instead. It was about building your networks and getting the support systems and structure. So important. As a business owner, I can't stress how important those things have been for me, and how it absolutely will be what you need today. Do not try to do this on your own. You don't need to. You're not meant to. Okay? So those 2 things, I identified the 3 things you should be considering before you set up in your business. And those 3 things I just quickly mentioned again. Having a sustainable sourcing strategy, buying from Africa, looking at buying locally, and keeps money in Africa. And the 3rd thing is just do business better and showing others, changing their perceptions of Africa. All these things that I don't want you need to be doing. It's going to be really important and imperative for your business. And then I told you about the results that you can get once you implement these things. And I've said to you where you can be a year from now, where you can be, so you can aspire to be in that place that you really want to be. So that's been a lot. It's been a lot, okay? So as I said, I want you to join the community. If you're not there yet, okay? So if you're not in the group, go and join the group. It's really imperative that you do so. So there's going to be, after this week, I'm going to be doing quite more training inside there. We're going to be doing it on my page as well. So I think you need to join in there, and we're going to be getting deeper in a few months ago. Okay, so do go and join that group and do ask a lot of questions in there. Make it yours. Make it your community. You've got an expert here who's got nearly 20 years experience in fashion, 10 years working with African businesses, who has contacts and connections with governments and fashion businesses and press and retail and all those places. So do make sure that you get in there and you ask those questions. Okay, if you want real deep coaching, come to me personally. We're going to work that out. Okay. All right, guys, I'd love to have you all here. Thank you. I'm Jacqueline Shaw, I'm the African Fashion Business Coach. I'm here to help you create and build fashion businesses that are made in Africa. Do it profitably, do it ethically, do it sustainably, and do it in a way it's going to make you win. Okay, it's going to be win-win for you, for the manufacturers. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to bring trade to Africa using the vehicle of fashion so we can see change in Africa. So let me be your guide, your coach. Let me give you the systems, the structures, and supports to get you there. Because your success is my success. I'm with you all the way. Okay, I never give up on you. All right then, guys, you take it easy. God bless you. Look after yourself. See you guys later. Take care.